1, 2, 3. Hey, bud. That was nice. What's up, guys? Dado hit a channel. This is my very first vlog and very first ride on my BMW. Well, I've ridden this thing before, first ride on camera. So many people have reached out to me over the you should do vlogs on a motorcycle, and we like a lot of the DIY, showing us the back roads, explaining stuff on motorcycles, and I figured it's time. Now this is my third time out doing my ride, because the first two times I literally have like 5 microphones, 5 different mics set up that I really like the quality of the microphones that hook straight into the GoPro media mod. With that being said, any of you guys that are watching this channel have your own motovlog setup, use GoPros or media mods or any kind of combination of all those things, what do you use? Like, what do you recommend? I would say that I am not a microphone or whichever setup to. I have the black, seems like it's doing, and media mod. I also have the GoPro adapter, which I don't like running on a helmet. Bulky. It's like a little block. It's pretty much the size of a freaking battery. So I know that a lot of people run the Sena backpack wireless and run it with your Sena. You can do a Bluetooth setup, but that just seems like a royal pain in the ass, because the older I think there was like one GoPro they made the backpack for, and they got away with it. So my concern, highest quality audio that I can. Before you mention a really nice Zoom that I'll be using for external audio to do exhaust sounds and things like that, I'll be pairing with my GoPro audio. I do not have that on board right now. I'm actually just trying to film my first vlog and get decent audio for you guys. It is the best and coldest day of the year, and I'm on the damn beach because I really want to get this video. Excited the first two times. So much cool stuff to have. Look at that view. There was on the first two rides that I'm on this video. I am on one of my favorites. This is a, what are you doing, bud? Okay, that's not how you use the roundabout. Okay, I'm on one of my favorite roads in central Pennsylvania. This is, I guess, going into Shermansdale, Pennsylvania, or towards Duncannon, say. And I like to call this the racetrack. These roads here are some of the windiest roads that are close to me, that I can go and enjoy and not have to worry about traffic. Enjoy these beautiful views as you're seeing. Today is the 5th of November, and I can't believe that I'm on a motorcycle. Yes, I can. The weather is not very cold. They call for snow flurries today, and it's been so freaking windy. But here I am. The roads are still so clean and dry, and I am determined to get a really good first ride with decent audio for you guys. So I hope you enjoy this. I'll try to make it short, simple, to the point, and enjoyable. Here we go. so first things first, why did I choose to buy this BMW? First of all, I've always wanted to own a BMW. I have been excited about the S1000 for the older S1000s and the new ones as well. I have always been a sport bike rider, although I work on all platforms, and I do enjoy a cruiser or tracker or scrambler, and all those bikes are really fun. I would gravitate towards sport bikes most of the time, but you know, I don't want to say which things have changed, but as I get older, I'm enjoying the ride and not, you know, the speed isn't everything, and bikes really weren't all about speed for me. It's also like the sound and the feeling of having that kind of power beneath you. But as soon as I started riding motorcycles that are more, this one with upright bars and a really comfortable seat, I realized there's so much where I can spend more than 2 or 3 hours on the bike without completely, you know, without my wrists and my neck and, you know, my legs going numb. BMW began making motorcycles in the 20s, and over the years, some of the most iconic motorcycles that they built have used the air-cooled engine, and you guys might know those as like the old school R series motorcycles where you see the sides, really cool exhaust each side, and they just sound incredible. And I think what happened is Japanese manufacturers started making really powerful and attractive motorcycles with really fun, you know, zippy and powerful engines. BMW was like, man, we need to do something in order to keep up with that, you know, and we need to build a cool platform where we get away from the air-cooled engine and start these, you know, water-cooled inline 3 and 4 cylinder, and to kind of, you know, market, so to say. And the competition had these really cool bikes, and you know, a lot of them really didn't, companies really didn't want to, so to say, steal off of each other. So they started making really unique bikes and really unique engine designs on their own. Now, BMW was kind of late to the game, and they didn't want to copy like the Jap bike inline 4 cylinders, so they had to come up with a really clever way to be part of the. So what they did, came up with the K100. What BMW did was they took a inline 4 cylinder, buddy, off my fucking tail. Jesus Christ. No, in my luck. What I'm going to do is try to pull over here and get out of his way, because apparently he's in a hurry. And why are you tailing? Why are you riding so close? Why are you driving your vehicle so close to the back of my tire? Because I can stop a lot faster than you be. So what I'm gonna pull over right here, let him pass me, and then I'm gonna get his license plate in case something happens. Because if something happens, I want it to be on camera. So when BMW was developing these engines, they initially thought about using carburetors. However, the engine on its thing, the cylinder head on one side, it would make it really complicated for riders, because those carburetors would then have to be mounted vertically and then have an intake that, you know, bent down to the cylinder head, which is very inefficient. That's why BMW was one of the first motorcycle manufacturers to have a fuel injected bike. Now, I believe that BMW used the mass air injection unit essentially from one of the and to work on, and surprisingly made a decent bit of power. BMW engines decided to shin right behind the engine, and after that they transfer the power through a drive shaft to the rear wheel. This is power is instantly transferred from the engine to the trans and the drivetrain. Any loss of power or lag or chain slap or, you know, issues bikes have. Very cool, BMW. Essentially, all you have to do to service the drivetrain on these bikes is lube the lines on the drive shaft, sure that the fluids are up to the proper level. Because the cylinder head sticks out right off the side of the, it's easy to service the spark plugs, the spark plug wires, and also bodies and the fuel injectors. Everything is literally hanging, and even if you wanted to do a valve service, it's a very simple and fairly quick job. Now, BMW began making the K-Series motorcycles with the 100, but they were very expensive, bulky, and also not very nimble because they were heavy. Once again, the engineers said, we should probably make an affordable bike in the same series, compete with, like, you know, the 600s in the market, and then more people can afford them and ride them. The K75 was born, and they sent off the front cylinder, a couple of things that were really unnecessary, unneeded, and they also fixed a couple of things too. So 5 was actually a more nimble bike because it was lighter and it had less cylinder, cooler, and it runs a lot smoother than the K100s because of the design that they did with the counterbalance crankshaft. Another impressive thing about these bikes is the fueling system. The fuel pump in this bike is so powerful. They run this pump essentially at 100%, meaning the fuel is being pushed to the fuel rail. Capacity takes to run this bike at wide open throttle. Fuel from the rail, fuel tank. A lot of you automotive mechanics and gurus know that this is cars are made, but not necessarily bikes. And BMW is like, yeah, we're just gonna run that pump 100% all the time and just return the fuel that we don't use. This is amazing because the type of modification to these bikes, you have to worry about fueling unless you're doing something with a turbocharger. One thing that really purchased this bike is the lever. Not an injected bike, and it has a choke lever right here. All that does is open up the throttle and allow the bike to idle higher and warm up a lot faster. I've ridden this motorcycle a handful of times, and I realized that this thing gets a lot of looks. For one, I get an occasional thumbs up, and I'm riding this thing, and people are breaking necks. But I guess you don't see many cafe racer BMW case bikes in town or around this area, so that's kind of. Now you might go, why do you have a little blue key tag? Well, this is a bike. It's an RFID tag. It's a radio frequency ID tag that I want ignition. I wave it underneath the fuel. Everything powers on, and I'm ready to go. I believe it's good that you guys actually get to see why I had to install that too, but the choice was mine after incident. So that's going to be a fun video as well. This is right out in order to, and I kind of had to do it in that order. Anyways, let's fire up. Starts right up. That's my way of saying hello, neighbors. Now, some of the things that I've noticed as soon as I purchased this is one, the thing, and with that being said, the oil from the directly on top of the calipers, causing the brake pad really slick, and the front brakes didn't work. Whoever installed the exhaust just kind of slid it over, and there's about an 1/8 inch of a gap all the way around, so the exhaust kind of need welded. That's the second thing on the list that I would like to get fixed ASAP. Also, the grips, they just spin. The throttle and the left hand both just spin in place. I don't like that, so I already purchased new grips for that. What I noticed shortly after purchasing the bike is the taillight. Now, the previous owner put an integrated LED taillight on there and everything worked fine, but about second ride out, I realized that running light was not working, but everything else was. It was just kind of getting really dim, and it looked like the LEDs were burning out, so that kind of sucked. Ordered LED taillight, and the install is going to be the next video, and everything is kosher. Safety first, so I cleaned up the front forks as much as I could until I get them rebuilt, and I'm kind of keeping an eye on the fluid. It doesn't leak very fast. I did new fluid, so I'll be doing a rebuild here shortly on that so I can continue to ride it. List the gauge cluster. It does not work other than the tach, turn signal indicators, high beam, and I think that's it. It doesn't show me my fuel. It doesn't show the speed, and just don't work, and I'm not okay with that. So that's why I'm using my phone as a GPS unit. It's also keeping track of how many miles I'm putting on the bike since I've gotten it, my average speed, the fastest maximum speed, and then, you know, it tells things like which direction of travel I'm going in and the time, which is really cool. This is sitting on a quad lock phone mount. I do plan on getting the charging unit for it, so I can wire that in and have the phone charging while I'm riding, which is going to be really nice. I know I have a lot of motorcycle riders on this channel. Majority of you do ride or have ridden in the past or plan to ride. Those of you who currently have the quad lock units on your, can you run the charging unit and the anti-vibration dampener at the same time? Does it increase or decrease anything? Like, does it cause it? And if you guys test it, does it work? I plan on buying that. Read that it is capable of stacking. I just don't want to spend the money and do it, and that I can't have the anti-vibration dampener on there. This bike is so fun. You crack the when it goes, there's literally zero hesitation. Shaft driven bikes are, if you can execute the engineering of the engine and the train properly, shaft, much fun. And if you haven't ridden a shaft driven bike, get out there and do it. Find a daddy that has one or something like that, and specifically is the bike is so light and nimble, at least it feels super light. It has a very, very low center. The engine literally hand point of the bike, and obviously the shaft drive just make nippy. there's no lag, and if these are tuned properly, they rip. So I plan on doing a couple of other things with the, I need to tune and over the whole thing and service it, and then what I plan on doing is these throttle bodies, so I get rid of some of that feeling, and also the bike is going to run a hell of a lot smoother. So most of the times when I ride these back roads, there's literally cars around me whatsoever, zero. And today, when I decided to do my first ride, they're just popping out. And that's pretty much unlikely on these roads. So I'm a little surprised to see that, but it's okay. I don't need to be going fast. So short story on how I acquired a bike. Wasn't really looking to purchase a bike necessarily. I never really. The beauty of it is sometimes when things come your way, they just show up unexpected and knock on your door, and in this case I was very to purchase. A local BMW enthusiast actually owned this before me, and he's posting pictures and reels of the bike, and I'm like, cool, man. I'm like, I want, you know, day. The more I was looking at the content, the more and he's like, hey, so I got this bike, a garage full of cars, and I'd hate for that thing to sit outside, so I know you did, but I may be ready to sell it. So I ended up going for a short ride on the bike, and next thing you know, it's on the trailer, making it to my garage. And I absolutely love this thing because it does not feel like it's a 91. It literally feels like it's 2 years old, except for it has no electronic assist or anything like that. I absolutely love old bikes. The more raw and simple the bike is, the better, because I've ridden a lot of excited or technologically advanced motorcycles, specifically sport bikes, and although they're very cool and they make the motorcycle really easy and safe, the knowledge and the learning and the enjoyment out of the pure raw motorcycle, you know, you have to learn each machine that you ride. You have to get acquainted with the machine. You have to tweak and modify the machine to your riding style, body shape, or whatever. And having a bike simple and real, and very exhilarating and exciting. So about as simple as it can get. It doesn't even have ABS. What do you guys think of these back roads in central PA? Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. This turn always comes up on me so fast, and it's like a 90-degree turn. Gotta be careful. I think this time of the year is to ride. Like I said, today is a bit chilly, a lot colder than most of the days in PA, but I'm just enjoying myself so much, and I'm bundled up. I'm very warm. Hands are a little chilly with these gloves, but not nearly the point where I can't enjoy it. What the hell is he pointing at? saw the signs that says that he's pointing to me and pointing to the ground. The truck in front of me is actually going faster. Who knows? I don't know sign language, but construction sign language is a lot more confusing. I like that guy's garage. Look at that. Woo-wee! That big boy. Nice house too. What's up, guy? Bet you's got some cool toys in there. People with big shops, I'm like, man, tractor collection, or they have supercars or a helicopter. There's actually a guy in Mechanicsburg that has a private helipad and a helicopter at his place, because this is not an area people typically can afford or have a helicopter in there. So I don't know the guy personally, but a helicopter at his place, and I've seen him flying over the house, so pretty cool. Can you tell how much fun I'm having on this bike? Now, I feel like my R1 is a bit jealous because this is all I've been riding, but it's okay. You know, everybody's gonna get their turn. It's okay. Super sunny too. Hard to see at times. I'm not sure how that's coming, but should have threw a ND filter on for today. There's spring right there, coming out of that little pipe. I think it's this, yeah, right here's the little swamp. Should probably, as you can tell, I'm always like talking about something and then it's like squirrel. And I'm not sure if you guys can hear the pops and crackles from this bike, but man, that makes me happy. I hope that I don't lose a lot of that when the exhaust is fixed, because the case I'm just chopping the damn exhaust off and running a straight pipe. Oh yeah, one thing I forgot to mention, the throttle. So if you guys follow Instagram, I posted a story asking people if they can identify what the part was that I was holding. It was actually a part of my throttle, and this has a chain inside. It looks like a little bicycle, tiny little bicycle chain, and when you spin the throttle, a little gear turns a gear in here, goes through here, and the chain is what pulls on this cable for the throttle. Super freaking weird, man, but I like it. If any of you own or have owned a cycle, drop a comment below and like it, and if you have any gripes about it. There's a really cool right here on the right hand side, and it's beautiful to see, and there's a lot of gaps up here or different mountains, or they have so there's like Starrett's Gap, and I think there's a Deals Gap, and the rest of them I can't right now, but they all have really windy roads to go up, and I like this type of content. I'm gonna do a lot more vlogs and take you along on some of the rides that I do. Central PA has some gnarly roads and some very, very beautiful scenery while you ride. It's not boring. I know that I don't go on the highways very much, and when I do, unless I'm explaining something or something exciting happens. The back roads, just like the ones you guys are seeing right now, is where it's at, man. So I typically ride solo or with one other rider, that's it. And then I avoid highways, inner cities where it gets really busy, like rush hour traffic. I plan on doing a lot more of these, probably with some other motorcycles, and also you know, customers' bikes. So maybe a short video of what I'm doing to the bike, and then test ride it and talk about the bike a little bit. So try to cover a little bit of history about these things and some of the gripes or I'm going to do to the bike. I have really awesome build plans for this. Nothing like internal or anything serious like that, but I do have some things that are coming this winter, and I'll be posting a lot of those videos for you guys. There is some things that I would love to change about the bike, but quite honestly, there's a lot that I just want to leave. I bought this thing with the intentions of riding it and enjoying it and slowly doing stuff to it, and there was